Basketball news a little bit that Pat Riley stood up, this, that, and the third. And they might be discussing it a couple of segments, but bro, Anthony Edwards is playing, Luka Doncic is playing, Nikola Jokic is playing. That shit is the Celtics are still playing. The Knicks, the fucking Knicks, bro. They're gonna drown that fucking shit out. Like it's gonna get drowned. That's why that was done so early. Like the Heat know what they're doing. Like so it won't stay relevant per se until like the off season comes. So if they don't get nobody, I don't think he's gonna get the money because I think then it's just like nah, bro, we just can't do that. But if they do and they build like something that they feel like supremely secure in, because I think at the end of the day that's Pat Riley's credibility on the line, and that's something I don't think he's putting on the line for nobody. Because like I would be surprised, but he is senile and old, so who knows? But I would be surprised, like if he puts himself out there like that, like jumping on Jimmy like that, and then you just fold regardless, like that would be a shocker. Like
Wait, so let me get this. You saying like if Pat Riley just kind of like acquiesced to what Jimmy Butler wants, that would be a stain on Pat Riley?
not like a stain, but it'll be like a little like you know what they not serious. Like look what they did. They said this, but they did that. Like
He's
at the
old,
end,
he's lost it, etc.
type shit.
Mm. And that becomes a national narrative more so than just like
That
a.
exactly. But that's exactly why they did it now, because if everybody was home and the champion was already crowned in this season, this will be a louder conversation. Like it's gonna be a conversation for a few days, but this shit is gonna get drowned out, y'all. Like, cause games have to be played starting tonight. That's why they did it so early. Like they know what they were doing. Like he's definitely upset. Like he's bothered. Like that is something I don't think we even have to debate. But because he's bothered, I think they chose to get it out there now instead of wait until later. Like when everybody and it could be more coverage around it, even though more teams would be talking about. But not really many presidents and shit get that much attention like Pat Riley when he comes out and speaks. You feel me? So like I think he's not putting himself on the line for Jimmy Butler. I think because like he will be looked at sideways. Because bro, like they see this backlash that we grew. They see it. They know it's there. Even the executive floor is doing it. Um, the people with the reasons. So like it's real. Like and they know it.
Yeah,
Hey,
I feel like that's a
oh, go ahead.
wild ass point. Go ahead. Go ahead, Stone.
No, I just wanted to piggyback on that. Like I know I'm critical of 5 reasons
Never
from time
piggyback
to
on
time.
nothing that I say, bro. Never piggyback. We're gonna write
Okay.
that down, Stone. We're gonna write that down.
Okay, you're right. My own original thought. Shout out to 5 reasons. I'm critical of them sometimes, but they asked a really good and a really important question that I think spoke to a lot of the frustration that the fan base feels regarding Jimmy when it comes to those kind of statements that he made at the F1 racing this weekend.
No, for sure. Like that. To be honest with you, bro, like that's what I found out about, like kind of like the preferential treatment that Jimmy's getting. That to me, like them putting that information out there was a little bit of the genesis of kind of like a lot of people starting to question, like, wait, so how are they treating Jimmy in regards to like the return that they're getting on court production? Like, how's the correlation there? Like, what kind of preferential treatment is he getting within the organization? And I think that forces kind of like people to reevaluate like what he is, like what his standing is with the organization. Like, is he above reproach or should he be called to the carpet? And I think Pat Riley did a lot in terms of like from an organizational standpoint, like even just saying it is a lot to put it out there publicly, knowing that it's going to become a national story. But I think Kendall makes a good point about them doing it, the timing of it being put like right now, so that like it can get drowned out by kind of basketball at a later date.
Absolutely, because I mean, he could have easily said like, "Oh, that's not a big deal. Like, I don't really pay attention to that kind of like." There was a million other ways for him to say it differently, but he was very specific in how he answered that question, and it's interesting.
Yeah, Dolphin, what did you kind of make of the timing? Well, now that Kim's brought it up, like, what do you think about that concept where Miami kind of strategically placed this information out here right now while there's still basketball to be played so that there's a chance for it to die down before they really have to get into the nuts and bolts of kind of like what their offseason plan?
Getting into nuts is crazy.
I mean, it's kind of similar to, again, like I think I said it in the spaces earlier this afternoon. Like when he said it about Kyle, I think either this season or last in the either opening season presser or end of season presser, what have you. And he said, "Look, Kyle's got to get in Miami Heat shape or something of that effect." Shit that gets said like that, and then it's shaped up to end up being a trade for the guy. Like, you know, from that certain standpoint to what Dale said, eventually this will all be lost. Like there is such a long road ahead in terms of the off season and in terms of free agency and what will happen, what can happen, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, we're here right now in early May. Like, this is not something that these guys do where they have to often have these end of season pressers before we've even hit the mid-May mark. And like Dale said it, a lot of basketball will be played. We're like in the fucking opening game 1s and 2s of the semifinals of each respective conference. This will get washed away in terms of the overarching standpoint in the national media, but I only think it's going to get louder and louder locally. And it'll inevitably be something that Jimmy will bring up, whether passive aggressively or outwardly in the open, what have you. So from that standpoint there, it'll be something that gets washed away nationally, but I think it'll only get louder. So, and at the end of the day, this is a Frankenstein of their own making. They didn't have to do this for Jimmy. And I think News said it in the spaces. You placated Jimmy because you felt like you made a major mistake with Wade. And you didn't have to do this. You had a ship that you ran, whether rightly or wrongly, that burned away LeBron and everything like that. But that was your ship. If you didn't let that ship bend for the greatest player in the history of the sport or the greatest player in the history of your franchise, why did you start letting the worst of the three start calling the shots? And now you've made this Frankenstein, and now you have to find a way to kill it.
I think you brought up something pretty interesting in terms of like Jimmy perspective, because we didn't get much into that. I'm gonna ask you this, Chelsea. Like, what do you think Jimmy's reaction to what Pat Riley will be? Like, I know Dolphin said he might react, whether it be passive aggressively or just outright say something, but like, what do you feel like Jimmy's approach would be to like how Pat kind of called him out today?
That's the problem with Jimmy. No one fucking knows. Because even what they think, this doesn't sound like stuff Pat's reacting to, like stuff Jimmy has done like publicly. We don't even know what he does behind the scenes. All we get is listen, Jimmy does a lot of stuff the other guys don't get away with. And you get like the hotel thing. We don't get like the day by day. They just say Jimmy's hard to deal with. Blah, blah, blah. That's all they say. I have no idea what that means. That just sounds like they're annoyed with him, but they will deal with him because they get the results in like the postseason. That's why all this stuff is like how the Heat handle injuries. You have to piece it together. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was like,
Sorry.
It's how the Heat handle injuries. It's like you have to piece everything together from like these little leaks they give out and like the random quote Pat Riley will give out. I don't know how they'll handle any of this stuff because the way they treat Jimmy, I've never seen them treat anybody like this before. At least when Wade and them were there, you knew like within the first week, you would hear like they're getting a contract, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're not going to re-sign their contract. And it would be done. Jimmy is just – because now it's clear. It was Jimmy's team leaking this stuff like Jimmy's looking for a $113 million deal. If the Heat just came straight out and said, we haven't even talked to them yet. So we know who was leaking stuff, and it's Jimmy's agent. So now it's, okay, we have two people with opposing views. One dude just went out there and said, hey, we're not changing shit. And the other dude said, well, I want $113 million in 2 years. So now we got our two most important people in the organization arguing over money on a team that can't win. It's stupidity.
I think that's another thing too about like where the Jimmy leaving shit kind of started leaking from. Like people were blaming this on everywhere except for like Jimmy Butler. And I was like, this feels obvious because I feel like if Pat Riley came out with this today, like a part of me believes that Jimmy felt this coming and tried to get out in front of it. And it was just like, if we can't reach a deal, then he might seek somewhere else to go or whatever. Just trying to like assert his leverage early.
Do you
If
also
Jimmy
think
wanted to stop that, he could have just. Jimmy's always trolling on Instagram. He's one of those dudes. He's on social media. If he wanted to like do a troll where he's like, I'm not even thinking about leaving South Beach. Fuck the contract for this year. He could have just put that out. He saw the stuff. And
Well,
he
he could have did the exit interviews.
You're right. I think him like I piece it together like you say, Chasu. Like I pay attention to like the little things that the Heat do.
Yeah.
Like when they did the whole UD video or some shit. What was it? Ro, do you remember what it was? And I pointed out like how the last
three people was Tyler wasn't included in it, and it was
yeah,
Jaime,
it was
Danny, and
Jaime.
Jenny.
Yeah, like that was like very interesting to me because it's like everybody always says Tyler before Jaime, but like I think this is interesting that okay, playing. I'm not gonna lie, like I think I wouldn't be surprised if a part of Jimmy Butler was like, yeah, these boys gonna lose to Chicago without me. Because I find it interesting that, okay, Bam's timeline comes up and that shit just got stepped on. Like, it got stepped on, like, by this whole Jimmy Butler contract thing.
What's interesting? My bad.
To the point where it's like, oh, they didn't even ask them about like, well, they did ask about a star. I guess I don't know if they asked specifically towards Bam's timeline or whatnot, but I think that is very interesting that it was like the national media and Woj started shifting focus towards Bam Adebayo, and then all of a sudden, boom, no, Jimmy Butler contract extension. And that's all that's gonna be talked about now. Like the only way they're gonna lean back into that other shit with Bam timeline and all that is like if somebody come out and be like, yeah, I want to go to Miami, which we know.
Hey,
but they
can I say something?
Go ahead.
One quick thing I would just want to add about like the leaks and like all that stuff that's interesting about injuries. I don't know if y'all remember, but right after he got injured in Philadelphia, the day after, Shams came out and said that, he said what the injury was, like the morning of, and Jimmy's agent got on some radio show like 4 hours later and went berserk about that leaking. But what was leaked was exactly right. And Shams tweeted it again like 8 hours after that. And so it's like, where did that leak come from? Clearly wasn't Jimmy. So who else had, access to that information? It's just interesting.
I think Shams has a relationship with a Miami Heat player of prominence.
Matthew.
I won't say it to throw nothing out there, but Stone, you not wrong. I think Shams has a relationship with one of Miami Heat players, and they're putting information out there. CS, I saw you in the spaces earlier today. You didn't get an opportunity to speak, but want to hear your thoughts on kind of like the Pat Riley presser, the Jimmy thing, anything you've heard in this conversation so far.
Sleepy ass cracker, he a Wade merchant fraud. Sleepy ass cracker, he a Wade merchant fraud. Now step away. Hey, step away. Are you my friend? Are you
step this way? Step that way.
Now step away, you old ass cracker. Look, today I feel vindicated. I really do, because this is nothing but a replay. We see it every time. We saw it with Shaq. We saw it with Zoe. We saw it with Shaq. We saw it with Braun. We saw it with D-Wade. He going to war. He going to war with his star. And I didn't think it would be this way this time, to be honest with you. I thought he was on some Jimmy Butler sucking dick type shit. I'm going to be honest with you. I really did. But in true Pat Riley fashion, he getting up on that stage. He said, look here, black boy. You going to do what I tell you to do. And Jimmy said, no, I'm fighting back. So I respect it from that standpoint. I actually respect what Jimmy doing. Go ahead and keep leaking these reports, feeding Shams, and do what you want to do. Because Pat Riley ain't been doing his fucking job. He ain't been doing his job for damn near over a decade. So he going to have to eat this shit. He going to have to fight this nigga. And he going to keep fighting him. And I respect that. What I don't respect is Jimmy stepping on Bam. That's what I don't respect. That's the only thing I've had a problem with. You got to come out here and do your fucking job. And he ain't been doing his job on the court. Now, off the court, whatever you do off the court, that's your business. But on the court, do your fucking job. And he ain't doing it. So we'll see how it play out. I think they're gonna end up paying him. I think they're gonna cave personally, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are on that mindset. What's up?
I don't see that. Like, I feel like when Pat like jumps out like that, I've never seen like when Pat jumps out at a player like that it ends up going well. Like, especially like with the Braun thing. Like, I remember when he did it to Braun, where it was a matter of, you got to show me if you got the guts and blah 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 blah, all that bullshit. Braun's like,
Wade.
Yeah,
I don't. This Dolphin, you bringing that up, bro? I swear, like that shit just dawned on me that like this is the second time that the money has come up. Like it wasn't money with Braun. It was just like, how can I convince him to stay? Bro, this makes me feel even more like I don't think they're gonna give him that bread, bro. Like,
I feel like with Pat, this was, and this could prove to all be wrong in a month and a half. But this felt like the beginning of the end to me, dog. Like, yeah, because I just pulled up the fucking transcript of what he said during last season's end of season presser. And on the topic of Jimmy, like, he was pretty effusive in his praise. He's like, he's a big boy. He's like, I'm not a big pat on the back type guy. And he isn't either. But he knows what he's got to do. And he's a great player, blah, 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 blah. I would like to try and get him more support. Didn't happen. And then on the topic of like the big moves and stuff like that, it's kind of funny as well too, because I take a lot of credence in what he says, but I also know that probably holds some of his cards to his chest a little bit, because on the topic of the big moves and stuff like that, it's kind of similar to what he said a few hours ago, where he's like, look, you know, subtle moves are enough, but if they're the right moves and, you know, if it comes down to hitting home runs, as I said, it's like addition by subtraction. So it's kind of funny. It's very similar to what he said a few hours ago today, where he's like, oh, I mean, you know, going for the superstar might be at the cost of your depth and everything like that. So I would be kind of leery of anyone thinking that the Donovan Mitchell pursuit is going to be a serious one. It'll be a thing where they're like, oh, might dip their toe in the water, but it'll be similar to what they did with Lillard last year, where it's like, we tried, but not really type shit. And I feel like we are kind of seeing that happen all over again. Long and short of it, Tyler Herro will be the longest tenured member.
Yeah.
I was getting that. I was getting that next, bro.
He's going to survive that nuclear holocaust. I'm telling you. Him, cockroaches.
Teflon Tyler.
Teflon Tyler, bro. Like, and I'll start with you, bro. Like, I was talking about how Jimmy would feel after being called out. Vince, how do you feel? How do you think Teflon Tyler feel after hearing Pat kind of again, like, assert that he's a starter? Say, like, kind of minimize the injury thing from this year.
You done to shut your whole ass up and go to practice.
Correct.
Bro, he was ready to jump out his body against OG. Like, all this stuff about he's a legend, he's a lifer, we got to build a statue, we're going to put his banner up in the rafters, even though he's just been a role player who didn't touch the court for like 5-6 years in a row. Like, seriously, anyways. Like, that's what he's doing for this is what he's doing for Tyler freaking Herro. And I don't even understand at this point. It's not validation of the draft pick, because it's just the 14th overall pick. It's not a top 3 pick. It's not a top 5 pick. It's a mid-round, late lottery pick. So there's no reason to go this hard for a mid-round, late lottery pick. It's just, I don't know what it is, to be honest.
I know
but
what it is.
He loves this boy. That's all I know.
Tell him what it is, CS.
He a white man from Kentucky basketball, from playing for Kentucky. Look, let's stop lying. Okay, let's just be real. Let's just be real about this, man. Tyler Herro is a face that can sell jerseys for them in their mind, because he a white man. That's just really what it is at the end of the day.
But they just drafted Jaime, and we got in this Miami market. Jaime could do the same thing. And
they won't.
We were talking about that.
Jaime is Mexican white. Tyler Herro is resell shoes white. There's a difference. There's a different market.
But so here's the problem. Tyler's never getting a shoe deal, so I don't know about all that.
Yeah, but let me tell you, you go into the main NBA store, you know his jerseys in front of the Heat, brother?
Tyler Herro.
I'm telling you. Tyler Herro. There's
I'm
not a
telling
Bam.
you.
There's maybe one Bam jersey in there, and then it's the rest are Jimmy.
You know
The
what's
signed
hilarious?
jersey in the NBA store is Tyler Herro's signed jersey.
But I really wanted to touch on what Dolphin was talking about when he's talking about a serious pursuit on Donovan Part 2. Because when I quote tweeted Barry, I didn't expect him to respond to me. And then he responded with me something I was like, I mean, we already knew, but it was just like actually getting confirmation. We never offered Tyler Herro. Remember 2 years ago when we were in the pursuit, they kept saying Tyler Herro's on the table. Tyler Herro's not offered. Then they started pivoting about the top 75 player and all this other stuff. But at one point, there was reports saying that Tyler Herro was offered, but they wanted more. They wanted our entire depth with Tyler Herro. And the Max Strus was like the cutoff or some shit like that. But that turns out to be complete BS. We never offered Tyler Herro. And that's why I'm like, bro, these niggas are just 100% straight liars. And they just feed the
You know what?
propaganda machine, and the Heat fan base eats it up every single year. Pat Riley gets on this presser. He pretends to be all, iron fist, and I got to get these guys in shape. And hey, man, you may be able to play good, but we got to get better. We need more. We need 25 points per game. All this stuff, blase. It's nonsense. It don't mean a damn thing.
And Vince, here's the crazy thing about it too. Like, I don't want to disparage Barry or anything like that, but as far as my memory serves me right, before this presser happened today, he has multiple tweets, and maybe somebody can check this, where they were like, hey, is this going to at least be recorded after the fact? And he was like, no.
Hold on, Dolphin, not to cut you off.
I've got it on my fucking computer right now. I'm watching it.
Not to cut you off, Dolphin, but Jimmy's agent has responded to Pat Riley.
Oh,
you mean Jimmy responded to Pat Riley?
What he said?
what the hell? This timeline's insane.
I'm not paying for the Sun Sentinel, so I can only give y'all the quote that Ira has in the article header.
No one paying for that shit. Respect.
Agent counters notion of Butler picking and choosing playing schedule isn't reality. I'm not sure where this narrative is coming from in terms of constantly dissecting his availability.
Hey, you said a whole bunch of words.
They squabbled.
Where that nigga Drew Star at?
Interestingly, Pat Riley played 9 NBA seasons, and only in 2 of them did he play over 70 games.
Well, when you're in an era where you have to, still gerrymander, you have other things to worry about.
He had another job, so he had to be the shift manager at General Motors.
No.
That nigga had a hardware store he had to open up the next morning.
But also, the biggest thing I took away from this, first of all, whatever's happening up with Terry Rozier, I am getting prepared to hear he has retired. Because they went from neck injury to spine. I said,
when Dolphin said
body?
Spine in that spaces.
I said, who is this, Ben Simmons? Like, these are parts of the body that we don't say are injured. That's not injury. That's, brother, what surgery did you go through? They hiding him from the public like Aubrey Graham's child. That's what I'm seeing right now. Can't find him.
He said, I'm convinced. He's like, it is not a career-threatening injury. I'm like, yeah.
That's a lie.
That's a career threat. Because Barry's been lying about a lot of shit. And the fucked up thing about it, too, and I wanted to say this previously, right? Not just the fact Barry was like, no, you won't be able to watch it. I'm fucking watching it right now. But one
Bad
thing
news, Barry.
he keeps saying, Pat keeps illustrating in this speech, availability. Dude, this fucking team, everyone on this team could play at minimum 75 games. And
I mean maximum.
Maximum 70. It wouldn't have meant shit. It wouldn't have. If Jimmy, obviously you might have gotten a better seed, but the overarching
Maybe worse.
The Miami Heat stand for is winning a quote unquote championship. It doesn't matter if Jaime had played 77, Jimmy had played 77, Bam. That doesn't matter. It's not good enough. They would have just been the best Iron Man team to lose in the first or second.
Yeah, that's what's really nasty. Like, he's talking about availability, but it's like there's something we're doing wrong because we can't be like consistently one of the most injured teams in the league on a regular basis.
Well, Jimmy missed a lot of time for personal issues. Like, he wasn't even hurt.
It's not even just about Jimmy. It's just like in general. Like last season, like you saw that ridiculous graphic where we had like the second most injured team in the league. But also there was another graphic that showed that we had like 9 of like the 12 players who ran the most mileage on a basketball court throughout the season. So we're literally running these players into the ground, and then we're
And
complaining about availability at a press conference.
Heat practice is basically just football practice without pads. Like, that's Heat culture.
This boy Stone is carrying a lot of water right now. Y'all hear him?
That boy Stone deep off in my bag.
The fucked up thing about it is too, like, it feels like Pat is so close to fucking understanding what the problem is, because he keeps talking about the availability, and then he referenced younger teams like Oklahoma City. I'm like, yeah, dude, no team is 30. They're fucking 24 years of age maximum on that starting 5. That the reason why they can play multiple fucking get 70 plus games a year. They're young guys.
Exactly.
That boy Isakwe in the YouTube comment said Jimmy dropped a dish to Pat Riley.
Hey, quick question for y'all. So Pat mentioned there were like 2 or 3 players that they would consider like an all-in move for. I personally don't believe it's limited to 2 or 3. I just feel like that was kind of posturing. But like, if it were 2 or 3, who do you think the 2 or 3 he's talking about are?
Some that we can't even get, bro.
Name the top 5 white players in the NBA. And Reed Shepherd.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie to you. This
that boy Reed Shepherd
like...
gonna be elite in the league. I just want to put that out there.
He gonna be better, TJ McConnell.
I don't know. That boy last name Shepherd though, so he got good genes.
Oh, I see why you lying.
This guy.
What you was about to say, CS?
Like, I'm reading this little article, and this sounds just like Wade in the summer before, in like 2015, when Riley was talking about his body and how he needs to be better prepared for the season and lose weight. It sounds just like that. So whoever said that, I think it was Dolphin. I think Dolphin's actually right. Like, it's not going in the right direction at all. So yeah, he might be dipping.
Like, every time Pat has challenged that star, the star has left. When he did it to LeBron, he up and fucked off. LeBron even made him dance for his amusement. Come to Vegas.
Please let him go 4 for 4. Come on, Pat.
He's like,
give me a Jay-Z 4 for 4.
He fucking when he did. LeBron even made him fly out to Vegas for his own amusement. Lee Jenkins is already in the fucking room. He's like, I've already got the I'm coming home article written. I'm just here to see. That's what you get for taking my cookies from me, you fuck. And then he did the same shit to Wade. And then I think, like, if I remember correctly, CS, like, there was still like some simmering tension in 2015, and everyone thought, okay, it's all over now. We're all good to go.
Yeah.
And then he up and left in 2016, and we're gonna see the same. He's doing it to Butler now. It's like people are like, oh, this is bad news. Like, I don't think this is going to end the way people think. They're going to cave and give an extension. Like, I've never seen Pat publicly challenge someone and then cave after. Like, he's going to lose.
Is it bad news?
I've seen him publicly challenge somebody in NK.
Who?
It was Tyler Herro.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler Herro said, bitch, you better pay.
The real Don of Miami.
Like, he really get whatever the fuck he want, bro. Like, I keep saying this, he is going to be the last one left. I can see it.
I keep telling y'all, when are you going to believe that they actually like Tyler Herro? When the story broke and that Dame got traded, what was Herro doing? He was out to lunch with Spoelstra. That's not something you're doing with someone you don't like. You're not in the middle of a trade talk. You're like, hey, Tyler.
That's because he's a hard worker.
Let's get some lunch. Hey, like, at what point are you just going to believe him? It doesn't take half. It's been 6 years. And the guy said, yeah, man, I really love this girl. And you're like, no, you don't. It's only been 6 years. Year 7, though, they're going to break up. It's like you got to, as Barry said, accept reality, brother. He's going to take that transition 3, and you're going to be in the jersey. It is what it is.
The return of the reality acceptor. I feel like New has been up here far too long to have not spoken yet. New, I know you said a little bit of something, but I want you to have the floor for a second to just dissect any of the conversation that you've heard.
I understand what y'all are saying about how, like, history tends to lead to, like, oh, well, yeah, if you go by what he used to do and how he's called guys out and they've left, this is up. I got news for you guys. This is not it. This is not the same Pat Riley. Think about how many times 5 Reasons has told us over the past 3 years, like, oh yeah, Cutthroat Riley is back. Cutthroat Riley is back for nothing to change. Like, I don't know. My grandfather used to tell me a hard head made for a soft ass. And maybe that's where I'm at in this situation. Like, I'm gonna have to see it to believe it, but that man is paying Jimmy Butler. He's seen, like I think Harry said it earlier in the spaces. He's seen what a Bam and Tyler team look like. That's he don't want that. So if you're not getting back a player and you don't believe you have the assets to get a superstar, one of his great white hopes, why do you let Jimmy go? Because at the very least, like with Jimmy, even though you're not going to win a championship, you get to have your end of the season presser a couple weeks later than everybody else. And you can lie and say, well, you know, with everything we went through, it's still a success. That's why I think it's no chance he lets this man go. Like, should he? Absolutely. But that man does not want to go back to quote unquote irrelevancy. He's going to cave in. Jimmy's going to play less games next year. He's going to care even less. And that's just going to be it.
But like, are we not irrelevant now? Like, I don't understand.
Oh, no. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's not how they view it.
Yeah,
hey, making the playoffs is not irrelevant.
Hey, bro.
I think we still make the playoffs without Jimmy.
Yeah,
but
Pat Riley said. Bro, oh, go ahead.
It's absolutely irrelevancy. Like, you're not a serious championship contender any single year with the roster, any of the rosters that you had. Like, I don't care if you've made the finals, you were never going to win. Like, period. You were not going to win. So it sound good, but like, hell yeah, they're irrelevant. But to an idiotic fan base, you could sell it. Like, to those Drake fans who truly believe he leaked all that stuff to make Kendrick Lamar look bad. Like,
oh, he did.
When you got idiots, when you got idiots in your fan base, they'll buy it. Don't have to be true.
We will.
See?
But we had a word for this because I think people are still in denial. We're not irrelevant. We're in purgatory. We're back in purgatory. And that's the reality that people need to accept. With Jimmy Butler, we have gone back into purgatory.
We are irrelevant.
Fake relevant just because we make the playoffs and because Jimmy can do like magical playoff runs to conference finals that he can't sustain. But at the end of the day, we're never going to be good enough to win. We're never going to be bad enough to get talent.
And we deserve it because when they started making those calendars and being like, and then going on and people saying, Jimmy can't play like this in a regular season game. I don't care how Jimmy plays in a regular season game. Because in April, well, buddy, it's April. He's not playing no more. And that's so you deserve, if you act like a clown, you deserve to get funny prizes. And now everybody's like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah, we should have been, this urgency should have been happening after the bubble, 2021. That's when you should have been urgent. You know what you did? You got PJ Tucker and blew smoke up everybody's ass. That corner threes from PJ Tucker were going to be the answer. And fat ass Kyle Lowry was so much better than Goran Dragic in the bubble that it's just going to get you to a finals. And they lied.
He was hitting them corner.
They lied about Kyle Lowry. They lied about PJ Tucker. They lied about Tyler Herro. They lied about these. Why should we believe?
When PJ Tucker put the ball on the floor, I closed my eyes every single fucking time. I knew it was ending in a turnover. That man was disgusting.
I remember a game where we ran the offense through PJ Tucker out that high post.
Brother. Hey, to add more context, Jimmy's agent has said, through it all, Lee said Butler remains committed to the Heat in South Florida. Yeah. Once he got to this organization, he got to an organization that wholeheartedly has embraced him in every single way. Look,
and he knows we'll give him the biggest check.
They're both cut from the same cloth. There's going to be honest conversations that have to be had this summer about how to move forward, but those conversations aren't going to be driven by anything other than how do we do this to move forward to take the next step to win a championship.
The funniest thing to me about the press conference today was when Pat Riley said something like, are we really going to add another superstar at the cost of not having a good bench? As if we had a good bench any of the last 2 or 3 years. Like, that part to me was the most ridiculous thing that was said. It does kind of maybe make me think, like, the only rational explanation for saying words like that to me is the part where he echoed that he respected what Brad Stevens did with Drew Holiday and Porzingis, and maybe that's the type of moves they're looking to make this summer if they don't get a Donovan Mitchell. I don't know. We'll see.
Literally 2 years.
You know what's really
No, 3 years. Like, what the fuck?
The year we were the 1 seed
Was
at the
the year
trade
to
deadline.
do the very good role player. Because they
Jeremy
would have
Grant
won a
trade.
champ. Jeremy Grant and who knows what else. You could have came off Tyler Herro at that point. I would have been fine with it. I don't care what he was.
Porzingis
Like, I don't
makes this year completely different for us, if we're being honest. I mean, it's fuck Porzingis, but like him
No,
next to Bam.
Stone. Like, the thing is, like, what people was like, I think it was Charles Sue saying, like, after the bubble, they should have had urgency. Bro, the worst part is they had opportunities. Like,
Yeah,
they
that
had,
fell in their lap. Jim
yeah,
Harden,
bro. Like, but they
Kyrie
just,
Irving.
yeah, they just chose not to. Like, they hold down the play. Like, Goran should have been gone after the bubble. The Mavericks
Yep.
were desperate. You could have got some picks off of them. And maybe, bro,
Brunson.
Thank you, Stone. Bro,
Somebody said we would have had a good bench if Tyler was on it.
It's funny.
We did.
But yeah,
he won Sixth Man of the Year.
I'm not past the idea that you could have traded Jalen Brunson for Goran Dragic the year after the bubble
Absolutely.
and got him.
Hell, they could have. There was stuff like, listen, they may not always make the greatest team in the world, but what Indiana does, their front office, they ask. When they went and asked about Tyrese Halliburton, that's something a good front office does. Just be like, hey, we have a team that can make the playoffs, but will you trade us Tyrese Halliburton? Oh, you will? You're that stupid? Bet. Well, let's go get Tyrese Halliburton. The Heat don't even do that. What the Heat do is go, well, you see the Sioux Falls
We
highlights?
like our guys.
Alonda's had 55. Let's bring him up for a week.
one of the more
Honestly.
aspects of this conference by Pat, and I know Spo is culpable in this to an extent, but he really sat up in there and he fucking said, yeah, Spo's got to be way better coaching on offense and defense. If I'm Spoelstra, who, again, is culpable in this, he's not an innocent puppy, he's like, bro, I've got Haywood Highsmith. You're asking me to make an NBA offense in 2024 with Haywood Highsmith, Thomas Bryant, Patty Mills, DeLon Wright, and Caleb Martin. What do you want?
He likes Haywood though. That Haywood is supposed to do.
But that's my thing, though, bro. Like, look at the people that Pat Riley threw under the bus in this press conference.
He said Bam needs to go work on his jump shot.
Bro, he threw Udonis Haslam under the bus for Tyler Herro, bro. Like, that's what has me leaning more so to what News talking about, bro. Of like, yeah, the words about Jimmy Butler gave us that old Pat Riley feel. But everything else around it, like if you look at the greater context, still feels like we're dealing with sentimental senile Pat.
No, I think that's Pat Riley. I think he did. I don't think he cared about. I think he cared about him saying something about the Heat on ESPN. I think they want to hide everybody in the shadow, hide everybody in the shadows, and so, like say if you're on ESPN, you don't say nothing controversial about the Heat.
So you said it was because it was a dissenting opinion.
Yeah,
that
like
he had a problem with.
He's not mad at Jimmy Butler for doing his normal troll thing. He's like, you went on TV, like during a game, and made us look like an ass. And then on Udonis, he's like, yeah, you're Udonis, but like you went on TV and kind of, in a way, called us incompetent. It's like, no, that shit stays in house. Like you let that leak. You don't go out there and say that.
I get it. Like that makes a bunch of sense. How it's like a national face. Like they finally getting national insight into what's going on in the Miami Heat organization, and Pat Riley doesn't like that. Al, welcome to the stage. Haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing today, good brother? Al, haven't heard from you in a while. Good to see you. How you doing today, good brother?
Buddy, he gone.
Get out. If you ain't gonna talk, get out. But yeah, I don't know. Like, Kendall, how do you interpret what Chasu saying about Pat?
I don't know what that nigga was saying to keep it G. I would mention it all, bro. Like y'all boys was just talking. But if he said, Oh, I did hear something about Udonis Haslam. If
Yeah,
he,
he don't like the way that they starting to get like national attention on some of this stuff. So like,
oh yeah, I think that's real. I think that's so true. Like, and I found it so interesting that UD was on first take, and I was like, I did think in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Like, I think UD is gonna have to leave like this organization, bro. They're gonna push him out the door.
He's gonna go join Wade in Utah.
wait, wait,
Not
wait,
even,
wait.
not even.
What do you mean? Like push him out the door? Like in terms of
Like, bro. I just think of UD like I hold him in high regard, just the way he always like went about his business on the court, like the Tyler Hansbrough or whoever it was, you whack D Wade and you slap hands like with Tyler Hansbrough or Lou Amundsen. After Lou Amundsen just hit me in my face the last game, okay, I'm about to bust Tyler Hansbrough and his shit. Like I don't, I just like knowing where he's from, bro. Like I don't think he at this juncture, like where he's like not playing no more, where he's just gonna like shell up into this like, okay, I'll be on this stealth mission stuff. Like the man got a podcast. He opened like he's talked like what he said at his retirement. He said how D Wade like taught him like there's more like the whole business aspect and how you can build yourself like even though he is Udonis Haslam he can still like I just don't think he can afford like in his own life like to go on this secrecy like bro what if he does so well he grows bro like UD can talk about basketball better than Kendrick Perkins in my opinion.
and it's like it still give you kind of like that same feel where it feels authentic coming from a basketball player, and he can
Right.
like and he funny too. Like he
He
can,
was too right, bro, but he was too honest. And that's the real in him, in my opinion. Like, yeah, he
yeah.
still goes into like
But
that
they can't
heat,
push him out, can they? Like they Miami can't be afford to
bro,
see pushing
bro,
Udonis Haslam out of this organization.
bro, bro,
No, not without a
bro,
Wade statue.
bro. What are y'all talking about? They told D Wade, I'm not giving you bread, bro, for what you did for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Disgusting.
bro,
That's
I don't,
that's
bro,
that's different though, bro.
Roy, I don't think they have not learned, bro, from their mistakes, in my opinion. The only time they're gonna be able to show me that they learned from that is through Bam Adebayo, bro. Like that's because that's their new young son, like in my opinion. And he's no Wade. I'm not comparing him to him, but he's a breed of like Alonzo and Haslam. But like,
Yeah, where
so it's
he can
like
be the face of your franchise without necessarily being your best player on the team.
right, bro. Like UD was the face of the franchise for a little bit. Like he was one of those like
Or he embodies the spirit of what the
yeah
franchise
type
is.
shit. He wasn't a face, but yeah, he the heart
Yeah,
and soul type shit. Like
yeah.
Bam can do both. Well, he is doing both. Like even though well Jimmy's the face, but Bam is the heart and soul, and he has the ability to become the face because he's making All Star team. But bro, like I don't trust them, bro. Like I just have to go off of like what they've shown me, and what they show me is that you could be around and cool, you're in the family, but once you start doing things that we don't like, and if you don't move off of your pivot, bro, we're gonna get rid of you. Like we're Alonzo always fell in line, bro. Like he was always accepting of whatever it is, in my opinion. Like maybe early on as a player, no, but like this post career, like there was no podcast, there was no sports talk shows like on TV, and they weren't as big as they are at least. Where players were going on, like you see Pat Bev, you see all these different random people going popping up on shows. JJ Redick, like UD got invited to First Take, bro. I would have never thought he would have been on there. He's been on NBA TV, but I don't feel like people really watch NBA TV. But still, bro, like they gonna ask him to quiet it down, and I just don't know how much he's gonna lean into that. Like, bro, like for quiet down for what?
It's you did the type of nigga who got the cachet to be like, who the fuck are you talking to?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like in
But they don't
Miami.
want. But they also have the well. I don't
Ball and
think this
mind
is gonna work
soldier.
out, bro. Like, do you remember when Wade like got announced that he has ownership in the Jazz? Like
Yeah.
Mickey Arison literally said, congratulations. He would have been here, y'all, but he ain't want to accept what we gave him.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he said. He was like, "Yeah, we tried to do it, but we couldn't come to terms. But we're happy to see it." That was like, "Hey, y'all, he didn't want to take what we was offering, so he went somewhere else." Congrats, D-Wade.
Can y'all imagine, like,
I'm done.
I was gonna say, can y'all imagine, like, if Wade had ownership in our team, like how much easier it would have been to draw
We
free
have a
agents here?
championship.
Yeah,
We have at least one
shit's
championship.
crazy. Shit is crazy.
Okay, let's try this again. Albert, my God, haven't heard from you in a while. How are you doing today?
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
laying
we
low.
can hear you, bro. First, before you talk about the Heat, talk about how you feel Kendrick is doing in this Kendrick versus Drake beef. We got to see where you stand before we let you talk too much.
It's 3-1 Kendrick's way. 3-1 Kendrick's way. And it's actually a
That
KO.
part.
I think it's over. I didn't need this last track that came out. They not like us, but he done fucked up and made Kendrick come out with a bump that a nigga could juke to. I'm in Cali right now from Miami. I'll be juking to that bitch. I'll be two-stepping to that shit. Crip walk, blood walk, shouts out to him. That shit is fire. I don't care what Drake says, it's over.
Okay. I want to hear what your thoughts on the Pat Riley press conference, like the thing that he said about Jimmy. How you feel like that's going?
It's like you know what to do, but you know this nigga gonna do some dumb shit. It's like you got a homeboy, you take him to South Beach and he just he don't belong there. And that's what's about to happen. Jimmy Butler's gonna get this extension. I hate it. I don't like it. And I feel like we're gonna keep Tyler Herro too. I know what the issue is. Pat sees himself in Tyler Herro. He sees himself in Tyler Herro, and he cannot let go of this precious child of his. So it's just a nasty season. Y'all keep me watching. Come and watch y'all on the podcast and after the game and the shit, these lunch spaces and shit. This shit keeps me entertained because if it weren't for y'all, a nigga just would not have been a Heat fan no more. I'd have been a Hornets fan.
We appreciate you, gang.
Brother.
We appreciate you saving your whole life not watching the Hornets. Even though Brandon Miller is like that. I want to put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, I don't know if y'all know this, but we've been picking and choosing some of like the other, well, we only did it once, but we're going to do it again. But picking and choosing some of the other playoff games to watch just so that we can help Heat fans watch hoops. Like, just give y'all an opportunity. The last time we spent the whole spaces talking about Kendrick and Drake. We're going to actually try and talk about the basketball game so that people can enjoy basketball, enjoy watching it, and enjoy watching it with us. Yeah, I probably won't. Like, if Kendrick drop another song, then that will be the topic of conversation the next time.
There was nothing to say. Drake smoked him.
Brother, no.
Stone, if you weren't white,
Why do you think
he's
that?
white. Don't
bro,
listen. What ASAP Yams tell us? We don't care about the opinions of white hip hop heads.
He got a picture of Zion's stalker as his profile picture. That tells you all you need to know about him.
As a sick man with sick thoughts, think niggas
Come
like
on,
him should die. Like,
come on now.
Zion's just living my dream.
You see? That's the type of stuff he says. So, like, you take everything else he says with a grain of salt. Somebody said Timberwolves basketball is riveting. Yeah, dog, because they got Ant Edwards. We was having this conversation, too, about Ant Edwards potentially overtaking Wade.
I went back and watched the Wade highlights. No way.
No.
Listen, okay, so this was the logic.
Actually, yes.
This is the logic. If he wins a ring and the Finals MVP this year, then of course, just though he has like steps to get there. But if he wins a ring and wins a Finals MVP this year, then he's probably the fourth best shooting guard of all time already. Like, I mean, I know you got other people with different sets of accolades and stuff like that, but like he leapfrogged a lot of people with just one ring as a shooting guard.
Bro, giving Minnesota a ring is insane, bro.
Yeah,
like
after how Jimmy left them niggas, like,
ooh.
Man,
yeah, and to pick up the pieces in like 6 years, 6-7 years.
Winning with Cat, winning with Rudy
and
Gobert.
Rudy.
Yeah, those two people that are like viewed as like
NBA pariah.
Yeah, like I think I've been on this Anthony Edwards hype train
for
I
Since the
love
quite
moment,
Ant,
since I
but
seen
he
him
not Wade.
playing on that
Since I
ship.
seen him bounce that ball.
some
First game against Michigan State, he was playing Georgia. He scored the most inefficient 44 points I've ever seen. And I said, they said lottery pick talent, and I was like, let me watch this. And I have not been led astray. My son, he is D1.
For a nigga that didn't
But
even
way
really
better.
care about basketball till recently is like the most fascinating part.
Probably like 2 years ago, to be real.
Like, remember? Do y'all remember when Cat called him out? Like, cause remember he used to all be at the press conference, like ordering McDonald's and everything, and like,
Yeah.
and then Cat was like, I don't like seeing that. Like, I
Remember
don't.
he
Y'all
said,
laugh.
send the video.
I don't care about that, bro.
But now it's like to see that come full circle because he called Cat out recently too.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
Like,
be
so-
real. Like Captain earned some respect, bro. It's like
Yeah.
he didn't score 44. He scored 37. But yeah, Cat was like viewed as like a soft ass punk, bro. Like
He is. But
I think he is at his core, but at least on that court, like
Y'all didn't know he was gay in real life? That boy gay.
we don't.
him and
we
Caleb
don't-
Williams gonna have power couple, son.
We don't talk about people's lives outside of the court on here.
Who he
That's not
calling
what
gay?
we
Cat?
do. Yeah.
Cat not gay. He just Dominican.
Nah. I'm from Miami. I know a gay man when I see a gay man.
well,
Hey,
what
bro,
part
I'm
of
from
Miami?
New Jersey.
No
I
Diddy.
know New
No
Jersey
Diddy.
Dominicans.
No Diddy too.
What do
This
you
nigga said he be
by
in the
that?
spots where weekend niggas be playing,
Hey,
like
brother.
Drake said. That's crazy.
I'm from
Somebody find the pen.
well,
Somebody
look,
find the
let's put it this way. See, he from Miami. I'm from Dade.
Come on now.
I don't be in nobody business.
My bad.
But my
Liberty City.
own.
My bad. Liberty City. My bad.
I do not care about what
My brother, zesty is a spectrum.
I let people live their lives. I care about basketball and basketball only when it comes to Karl Anthony Towns. So that is what I will be talking about.
And booby trap on the river.
His son is a sick man. I heard it, Isakwe. I see you over there in the YouTube comments. I'm watching those as well. But yeah, I do like Anthony Edwards a whole lot, bro. Like in terms of like who he is as a player, who he can be. He just came out talking about the Jordan shit. Like he wanted people to stop with the Jordan comparisons. Like,
Could you imagine if Wade played in this NBA with the spacing that Anthony Edwards has? Like, I mean,
does
come
he
on.
really have spacing like that though?
I mean, or does he? Like,
it's
he has
better
aura.
than what Wade had.
Yeah, it's better, but at the same time, it ain't like niggas ain't like not playing off of Jaden McDaniels in the corner.
So this is what I feel.
But we
about,
got
like,
defenders in today's NBA, like Wade had to see.
In terms of that conversation, you got people.
No, we don't.
So listen, you got in terms of like the NBA, you got people who play who are appropriate for their era. You got people who are ahead of their time and people who are relics. I feel like Wade was like an innovator of sorts. Like he played kind of like Michael Jordan, but like he was an innovator of sorts in terms of like 6'4", 6'5" guards with that type of jumping ability and like he just had an amalgamation of skills that kind of showing up in different versions of him. So then you had Victor Oladipo, whatever, who was considered a version of Wade, and now you got Ant Edwards, who's like an evolution of what Wade was. So like, I think in today's NBA, Wade would be still the same kind of player that he was in his own time. Like he a dominant scorer in the
league. Wade in this NBA?
Yeah,
I think he would average like Luka Doncic and James Harden. He might play just like that. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
because if he's because that coach will want that ball in that boy hand all the time.
Yeah, and they can run the same offense that they ran him at the time. To be honest with you, high screen and roll, like that's all he really needed.
He would be by far the best two guard in the game.
Spo was out there looking like Jason Kidd on Wade in the early way.
Wade would win an MVP. Wade would win 2 to 3 MVPs if he played in this era.
I agree.
Yeah,
he was doing it on all twos, bro.
Russell Westbrook got an MVP, like doing kind of what Wade. Like if I know he's way more athletic, but Derrick Rose was kind of a variation of Wade.
He wasn't way more than athletic.
Yeah,
was not
Wade's the best athlete I've ever seen.
Well, Wade
He
came
could-
into the league without.
D Rose was agile. He was more like
and explosive.
yeah.
Like,
that jump
honestly,
that jump
I don't
stop
think
was ridiculous.
we don't need to split hairs here. Like Derrick Rose was a better athlete than Dwayne Wade.
I don't know. Wade could jump from standstill position like nothing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's
you
crazy.
Wade. I mean, D Rose. If you go look at that Goran Dragic dunk, boy,
Brother, it will move you,
Pogos.
brother. Like I get it. Like Varejao
I just don't
was
say
elite.
way more. That's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry, brother. Like I saw it with my own two eyes, bro. Like I know what it looked like in their prime.
Doing them spin dunks during
Listen.
the Big Three era moved me.
Like, look, I get it, bro. Like that Varejao dunk, that Kendrick Perkins dunk. Like Wade was an explosive player, but like Derrick Rose was a once in a generation type athlete, and I believe that
Once in a 2 years athlete because he did not survive more than two.
The fuck up, like dog.
And Adidas had him playing in shoes that were bread loaves, and that's why he fucked his shit up. That shit's crazy.
Adidas had a terrible run for like 5-6 years, bro, where every athlete who had them shoes on was getting tore up.
On them
Disgusting.
fucking Wade Converses.
Brother. I erased them out my memory, bro. Like
I'm not gonna hold you. The Wade Converse with like the black suede on the back and like the white in the front. The ones he had like the year we won the title, them shits was hard. I ain't gonna hold you.
Them Li Nings, they got better over time. They started out rough.
They're gonna have Haywood Highsmith putting them bitches together soon.
If you had bad knees, brother, those Li Nings were the best shoes on the market. Felt like you were on a Tempur-Pedic mattress playing on the court.
That's why Clay signed with them.
No, he's on the other one, I think.
That's interesting.
Damn, they got that many.
Anta. Yeah, Kyrie's on Anta.
Damn, Haywood Highsmith's gonna have a lot of opportunities over there to find work.
In a sweatshop where he belongs.
Yeah, Austin Reeves has his own shoe in China, the AR-15s.
That's a terrible name for a shoe for a white man. Like, but it's like it'll be
the school
so
shooter
hard.
threes.
Hello, white people got their own shoes over there. Well, like not white people, players. They
It
got Clay.
it would have been hard if that was Anthony Richards.
Jimmer Fredette has his own shoe over there.
Andrew Wiggins got his own shoe over there.
Peyton Pritchard plays in Sabrina shoes.
What's crazy is like for as big as a star as LeBron is, he's never been able to capture the Chinese market the way other players have. Like
Jimmy Butler got that $250 shoe. Jackass.
He got a what shoe?
His shoes are like $230, $250 to get his shoes.
Remember when LeBron said "fuck them Hong Kongese" or whatever he said? I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't think LeBron said that. I think you said that. You just tried to put that on that black man's name, Stone.
No, he was Team China. Daryl Morey said that shit while they were over there, which was stupid, and LeBron called him out for it.
Daryl Morey, I'm surprised
he's a liar.
League. James Harden is the greatest free agent or like player empowerment person of all time.
He goes wherever he wants.
We saw LeBron James do it. It was like that's power. And then we saw Kevin Durant do it, and it was like, that's also power. James Harden is the Thanos of the player empowerment movement.
James Harden does it and goes to good
overweight. He showed up 50
James Harden
pounds overweight in Houston. That shit was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was like he was wearing a fat suit.
Houston to New York to Philly to LA. He really only got Miami to check off his list, to be honest.
Brother, he would have had me. He would have been here already. There would have been a connecting flight to Miami in between Houston and wherever in the hell he went after that. Like,
and I would have made sure to crash that plane. Like,
Tyler Herro would be living in High Bridge.
Come on, brother. Like, I'm sorry, brother. You couldn't have convinced me that like Harden wasn't the answer at the time.
With Bam and Spo. Like, who are we kidding?
I can't trust. I don't trust the quitter. That dude will quit.
I see.
Harden went to Western Conference Final with Capella.
I see. That's what I'm saying. I think Capella is becoming
Put respect
like a
on Josh Smith's name.
Every player that makes Clint Capella better, I want them to play with Bam.
Exactly.
Trae Young.
Come on now.
He would move?
That would move mountains.
It would be so funny to watch Royal try and not yell at Trae Young.
No, you wouldn't.
I would
not try.
Yeah, you. He gonna yell
That
at him,
nigga's a
but
criminal.
he gonna yell at him. But Chasu, that boy gonna be moved. I'm sorry. Like,
I'm telling you, brother.
Oh, no.
That first
Kendall,
lob, I'm
I
in.
have season tickets because of it. Like he's great. But you want to see someone hijack an offense and end a run? Boy, that 35-foot three, it's like crack to him. He be itching.
Oh,
He'd win
yeah.
a scoring title in Miami.
no, Stone.
Stone, you said Brandon Ingram would win a scoring
He's
title.
such a crackhead, bro. Like,
Because we just need lottery talent. That's all we need, and we got
Cam
a
Reddish?
league leader in scoring.
Come on now. Talk to me nice.
Tyler Herro? Huh? Lottery talent?
I didn't say end of the lottery. I said lottery. The end of the lottery doesn't make you a lottery talent.
You lied to me.
You can run out of lottery talent before the end of the lottery.
Jaden Ivey? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's leading the league in scoring, but I would like him as a basketball player.
Yes, he would.
Stone, I can't, bro. Like, I can't allow you to lie to the people like
BBL jersey.
Keontae George.
BBL jersey.
Man, you really are.
Larry highlight tape to BBL Drizzy is hilarious.
BBL jersey.
I want to ask about like the Herb Jones kind of Trey Murphy. I keep talking about it because I feel like that's one of the more interesting situations in the league.
They want both, brother.
They want both, but which one are they going to keep?
They keeping both, boy. They trying to get Brandon Ingram the fuck up out of the league.
They're going to move Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Herb Jones is on a great contract too. Like he's on like
They
$5
want
million a year.
both of them.
And Trey Murphy's nasty. Yeah, they're keeping both of them.
They gonna take their chances with them two, Zion, and when that boy
Tyler
CJ,
Herro.
when CJ on there expiring,
They gonna flip his ass.
They gonna flip his ass. Maybe to probably like a team who's like just need a little scoring punch to put them into contention. Like,
who wants CJ McCollum?
Hey,
man?
you know what
CJ McCollum off the bench?
CJ McCollum
Isn't he getting
expiring.
paid a ridiculous amount of money though?
Nah, he's a
30. He's getting paid 33, but it's expiring. So
yeah. It's CJ in Minnesota.
Shit, if we gave Kyle Lowry that, then I could justify giving McCollum that. That's fair.
As a 6-man, because I think that's gonna be his next stop.
Yeah. I think that's his next role.
Yeah.
A hired gun off the bench. I don't know, bro. Like, but that's a couple of teams. Like, I want to see what we can plug off of New Orleans. I want to see what we can plug off of Detroit.
Paul George?
No. Like, I like Paul George, brother.
Paul George is like the that ain't fair type move at this point. Like, I'm talking Jimmy, Donovan. Hey, Paul George, you want to accept smaller money so you can win? Type shit.
I think we could get DeMar to accept smaller money, but whether he would fit.
Yeah, but he ain't.
I don't think he's gonna do that. I think he's gonna take the biggest bag he can get.
That boy, he bad
cash
collector.
out.
None
Just
of that.
like Jimmy.
No, just like Bradley Beal.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, but I'm a big.
The greatest example of that right now is my boy Lonzo Ball, brother.
Yeah, he's living the dream.
Hey,
I was living my dream.
when that nigga
When that
did,
news came out that he's like, yeah, he's going to get his player option. I'm like, he's got a player option.
The greatest of all time is Chandler Parsons. When he told the story of the agent said, "Listen, Portland may check your medicals better than Dallas, so tell Dallas you love to be in the city." And he said,
who was that center we took from Oklahoma
lied.
City?
You said what?
Who's that center we took from Oklahoma City as like a contract, like to eat his contract? That's the biggest scam artist of all time. White dude.
Oh no, we took Ryan Anderson.
Yeah,
he's not a center. We took him from Houston, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, power
we
forward.
took him, and we had to like waive and stretch that contract.
Otto Porter,
like 6 years.
That shit took so long. It was like having another.
He's only 36.
It was like linking another Bosch contract onto our thing because like we paid Bosch for so many goddamn years, brother. Like it was
Solomon Hill.
The
terrible
move. Were the hardest.
Terrible move, bro. And that's funny that you bring up Bosch, bro. Because
my god.
No Chris Bosch slander, but fuck that. No, just playing. That's kind of how I feel about Jimmy. Like that nigga's not him, bro. Like he is in instances, like, but you know it's not him to get you to where you want to go. He can't be your number one. So let him play out this contract. You did the feel good, thank you shit already. Nigga, you're not getting another dime unless you on like
Bosh and Wade would have went to the finals together if he didn't get the clots.
yeah. They probably would have bought a ticket to see LeBron win his third championship. Cool. But actually participating in the finals, absolutely not. But yeah, Bosh kind of reminds me of Jimmy, bro. Like, well, Jimmy kind of reminds me of Bosh, not with no like medical stuff. Knock on wood, you know what I'm saying? Don't hope he get that. But bro, he's old. And Bosh wasn't even old as Jimmy then, but you just knew, like, dude isn't like that. Like, why are we maxing him out right now? Like, that
Knock
doesn't
on
make.
wood was crazy.
No, it's not. It's this old
We
saying.
maxed him out. He's going to be looking like Chris Paul does right now. Sad, old and stale.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far because Jimmy's just like he has like athleticism to some degree. Well, size, I guess you could say. Like, he's taller than Chris Paul. Like, Chris Paul is like a little midget out there, but he's gonna be like more like Bosh. Like, he's not gonna age gracefully. Like, wait, a lot of people think that Jimmy's game is gonna age gracefully.
That's my narrative. You're my bad.
Oh yeah, there you go. You the one who said it. I don't Well, you kind of slow, so never mind. Don't explain it. Do not explain nothing.
I said the same thing. I had that interaction with Vaughn on Twitter, where she was like really adamant, like, yeah, his game is gonna age. I'm like, I don't think we're seeing like the physical contact that he's engaging himself in. Like, he's making himself basically miss shots just to see.
He in that lab with Chris Brickley all summer long. That's why those knees fall apart by April. He will age gracefully.
And it's just like, bro, I'm like, bro, he's got, and players like that play like that, they usually don't last longer than 10 to 12 years. We're on year 14.
Yeah, but he's never lasted either because his play styles. He's been running into people. It's not like he started doing that in Miami.
No, he's been doing his whole career.
Yeah, he did his whole career. That's why he I think he's played over 70 games. What, once?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once or twice in his whole career. Like, his play style, his body doesn't hold up because by the end of the season, he's been doing that pump fake, jump stop, hard on your knees shit so much. Pause. Jesus Christ. But that it just hurts him at the end of the season. And that's why I worry about Bam, because people weren't talking about, but Bam don't talk about his injuries, but it would be like we'd get to the playoffs, he would put on that shoulder sleeve. And he'd put on, I'm like, bro, his KT
tape.
Ever since that block, we can't overwork his shoulders. Ever since that block in the bubble where he hyperextended his shoulder, every season near the end, he's putting on that shoulder sleeve. Or like he starts getting them hip injuries. I'm like, you can't be working Bam this hard because his body legit can't keep up with the contact. He only does it right now because he's 26. But that shit catches up to you when you're 28, 29. And like your body's
we're only making it worse because of the body fat thing, and we're undersized because for whatever reason we just can't get size. We can't size up when it comes to selecting players. So we're underweight, we're undersized, and we play a highly physical style. Of course you're going to be injured, and we run around the most. Of course you're going to be injured at the end of the season.
Also, having terrible spacing also helps you get injured because when you're terribly spaced, everybody's in the paint. Jimmy jumps, Jimmy lands, Jimmy's in a bunch of crowded people, you get hurt. If you have space, you know what happens when you're playing with – you see what Jason Tatum's layups look like, even though he's trash? They're wide open lanes. He jumps up, he lands, he runs back on defense.
They literally practice without calling fouls. Like that's what practice
is ridiculous. Like. They play prison ball at practice.
Hey, I don't know if anybody noticed, but Meg Thee Stallion dropped a freestyle today.
What?
I hope it's not a diss.
I don't.
It has to be.
I didn't listen to a word of it. I just saw it on my timeline.
Oh, it's a video. Is it a video?
I guess. I don't know. Like, I just saw it on my timeline, and then I just.
Is she shaking ass in it?
I did not look at the video. Like, I just saw that Meg Thee Stallion had a freestyle out today, and I just felt like that was news that everybody wanted to hear. Y'all make sure y'all listen to Raziel the Great in the YouTube comments and leave us a like on this video. If you're not already subscribed to the Basement Sports Network on YouTube, or join us over here on Playback at playback.tv/The Basement Sports Network. Subscribe over here too, so that you can potentially join the conversation. I think this was a good talk for an hour. It was a continuation of the conversation that we had over on Twitter. If everybody wants to, make sure you tap in with us on all these platforms, because we're going to try and do more work over here throughout the course of the off season, do more spaces. We want to hear from y'all, so y'all make sure y'all join the stage. Request to get up here. Who's that requested now? Dolphin? Yeah, Dolphin, I'll let you come up here for the final round of words, and then we're going to get up out of here so that I can finish doing my work and get ready for
this.
What? Dolphin?
Dolphin final words.
I already know it. I'd rather listen. I'm not falling
let
for
that
anything.
man. Nope.
I guarantee you he won't get it out.
I'm not gonna do it this time. I had a sobering thought. I was listening to you guys a little bit. And I had a sobering thought about the Bam kind of overall lifetime of his career. The idea, you got him for the next 7 to 9 years. It's like undersized, big. That's the thing that really hurts me. Is the prime of Bam might be a lot shorter than people lend credence to. And that's what's really killing me about the fact that his centers already age horrendously anyway. So I'm like, that's the thing that concerns me the most. And I think you have to supplant that by again.
Brother, I felt it. I don't know what it was, though. I felt like it was coming. So I just threw his ass off of there after the bad point. You didn't do it. You did it. And I'm so proud of you that you did not. But your ass also will not be getting an opportunity to do it either. Chow Su. Last words, brother.
Through all this, there's some silver linings in life. I knew the Heat may fail me, but my boy Kendrick Lamar, I knew he wouldn't let that BBL bitch beat him. I said, I'm going to sit back, I'm gonna watch what a real killer, what real talent when you put him on the field does, and get to work. And I saw it. And I thank him, because my sports team may suck, but at least my hip-hop integrity was saved this week. Also, Man City. So, I've won.
Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting.
Trying to fabricate tales on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale.
Come on now. Vince, final words, brother.
Pat Riley, you're a sick man.
Correct. Tamundo. I kick Stone off the stage. Probably for the best. Let's see you later, Vince. go ahead. Go ahead, Stone. Go ahead, Stone.
I think my biggest takeaway from all this is I think Pat Riley woke up after 5 years. I don't know what that means or looks like, but I expect things to be different. Even if it's not a roster change, it's going to be a difference in how they operate. And I think it's going to start with taking the regular season more seriously.
Yeah.
That's cool and all, but guess what? It went from drop to, man, go ahead and drop all them other songs. I know you already got them 6 minutes ready to come out, release them. This is a fun little exercise. But yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. Whatever.
He said he'll reply if he comes with facts.
Yeah, I had to take that away so I can get this hate off. It was a nice little fun exercise. I got my fucking face beat in, and my head kicked in, and my face in the dirt, and you made me eat shit. Oh yeah, and of course I plotted that. You took the bait, even though I just said you're stupid, and whoever gave you that stuff is a clown. Oh, I guess I'm the clown. BBL Drizzy.
Listen, Sandra, your son is a sick man. All right, that's what we should all take away from Pat Riley's press conference today. Okay, Sandra, your son is a sick man. Okay, he's a sick man. All right, so but look, y'all have heard me kind of give the soliloquy, do all the promos and shit like that. But I would like to remind people. Just watch the news, all right? Not like CNN or no shit like that. Watch Twitter, digest the information as it's coming in, and don't forget it. Don't be swayed by what you hear. Listen to what Pat Riley said today. Hold him accountable for what he said today. Don't let new news change your perception. Keep the receipts, as Young Justo is saying. Make sure that you're following the tea leaves. so that you can hold the organization accountable. You can hold these local media outlets, so us included. If y'all want to classify us as a local media outlet, I don't care. Make sure you hold us accountable for these takes, because more often than not, like, you'll be able to figure it out for yourself.
This is not news, brother. This is real nigga banter.
Come on now. We don't do that. We just talk. We just talk that good shit to you and let you make your mind up for yourself. All right. So y'all keep tapping in with us. We're not scheduling these. We just decide to do them. So yeah, whenever y'all see this shit pop up, y'all join in. Appreciate y'all. And like LJ say, y'all remember to be good people. Have a great rest of y'all day.